there's one thing that you have said before, Pastor, that leaders can make mistakes. You just make sure that you don't make it again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you are probably one of the most forgiving leader that I've seen, Pastor.
Thank you.
That when you said that we don't cry over spilled milk, and once you address the issue and you actually you actually move on. And while people might not be ready moved on yet with the emotions or sentiments, but Pastor, you moved on and you went on. But I find it quite interesting to see that, Pastor, because sometimes our emotions and sentiments can cause us to like think twice or stay in this position for a while. But what makes you to be able to move on so quickly, Pastor? Because when you say you moved on, you really moved on, and you never dig out or bring back the past mistakes and to for the person, and you moved on and you see the person with a fresh new lens. How do you do that, Pastor?
Wow, that's a loaded question, Shirley, but it's a very good question. I've got a few thoughts to that. One is that the way I was brought up, I didn't have a mom since I was 1 year old. And my dad was never really around. And those who know my story know that my dad was on drugs. My mom divorced my dad when I was 1. And so with all that family background, I guess I grew up a little bit tougher. And it's just, how sometimes the Lord allows us to go through things because He knows the kind of characteristic we need in the days to come. And so we don't cry over our own spilled milk. We don't cry over our own past. We thank God for every experience we go through because that experience makes us, right? So it makes us not so emotional guy to start with. That's background first. Secondly, I think this is probably even bigger. I do genuinely believe in people. And I believe that everyone has good in them. And everyone wants to improve. I take that as a general rule first. Some people, of course, might not want that. Some people might not believe in that. But I think it's very, very important that no matter what people think, I believe that people are meant for good. People want to do better. And so, yes, people make mistakes. I've made many mistakes. And people have also given me chance. God has given me many chances. And so as, the Lord taught us how to pray, forgive us our trespass as we forgive those who trespass against us. So there's a lot of correlation between us and God, us and others. Yeah. So I believe that believing in people helps me just get over whatever it is that they have made in terms of mistakes, because once is enough, to me. If you have to scold the person, tell off the person, reprimand the person, whatever it is, point out the mistake, I think once is enough, because if you keep repeating it, then you become a nagger, and I don't know why people nag so much, because to nag is almost like me. I want to get my frustrations out. Wow. But if it's always the other person, then you don't have to nag so much, because it's not about you. Can you hear my frustration? Do you know how mad I am at you? Sometimes, we can also get into that kind of situations, and it doesn't make you bad. There are times like that. But I think most times when you believe in someone and when you do something for someone, scold that person for him, not for you. Wow. Discipline that person for him or her, not for you. Then I believe then you don't have to carry on. And again, another thought is it's not personal. Yeah. Unless, of course, it becomes personal. Wow, you touch my wife, then it becomes personal. But otherwise, most things are ministry related, business related, money related. Money can disappear and come back again. It's not like it's personal. That's what I want to say. And so don't make it personal. And if you don't make it personal, then it doesn't become emotional. And so I think it's very, very important to always have the other person in mind, and don't nag. The quicker you get over it, the better. And again, to think about God, how He gets over our issues, how He gets over our idiosyncrasies and foolishness and mistakes. I think if our God kept it going, if He kept all these things in His heart, the Bible is very clear, right? He doesn't, as far as the east is from the west, He makes sure that He chucks our sin away. He is not a God that remembers all these things. So I don't want to go in the way of keeping some of these things in my heart, in my mind. I also think it's not good for health. It causes the leader a lot of stress, and that stress can also lead to ill health. So why do ministry with stress? Why do ministry inviting sickness? And one last point about also forgiveness is this, that sometimes when you hold something in your heart, you're not actually sure whether that person has already gotten right with God. And to me, it's important because if I have an issue with any of you here at this table, and I presume that you haven't changed. I presume that just because this happened yesterday afternoon, that you haven't gone to your knees at night and gotten it right with God. And then if I continue to take it on, balance brought forward, as they say in accounts, to today, then I am in the position of God. I play God now. Because actually, you as my sister or you as my brother have already made right with God last night. So I think it's very, very important that, we don't balance, bring forward. We don't think that the other person hasn't actually made right with God because a person can change. And so I think it's very, very important. I think your question is, how do I get over it? Yeah. So all these thoughts help me. That person, maybe he already brought it to God already. Who am I to hold it? If God could let it go, who am I to hold it? Wow. And so this is very, very important. And I think it helps also the other person move on. It also hopefully helps the other person see that I genuinely care for him or for her, and I'm not that kind of person that is so petty. It's very important not to be petty as a leader.
Welcome to Leadership Matters, where we talk about the principles of leadership and learn the keys to being a great leader.